Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take a stack of yesterday's top headlines, that's July 22nd, 2025, and we go beyond the surface. Our mission, well, it's always to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights. We want to help you cut through all the noise and feel genuinely well-informed, without getting overwhelmed. And today, we've got a really fascinating mix. We're talking geopolitics, finance, crypto, some cutting-edge AI, even sports. So if you're ready to peel back the layers, understand not just what happened, but why it matters. Okay, let's unpack this. We're going to kick things off domestically. Some pretty significant news about military movements here in the U.S. The Pentagon announced a withdrawal, about 700 Marines pulling out of Los Angeles. Now, this isn't just like a routine redeployment. It seems to carry some weight, doesn't it? What's the context we need here?
Yeah, it does. What's really insightful is that this action, well, it officially wraps up a pretty contentious deployment. This force was originally sent in by the Trump administration. It was a response to protests, specifically around federal immigration operations.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
So yeah, while it looks like just moving troops, it's actually closing the book on a decision that, frankly, sparked a real firestorm back then.
And that criticism, it wasn't quiet, was it? I recall local and state officials being quite vocal.
Far from it. No, this deployment drew significant, sustained criticism. Local and state leaders saw it as, well, federal overreach into their affairs. They felt it militarized a civilian issue, undermined trust.
Right.
So closing this chapter, it does signal a potential shift, maybe a recalibration, in how the federal government uses military assets domestically, especially for things like civil unrest or immigration. The question it raises is this just about this controversial deployment, or is it hinting at a broader change?
That's a really key distinction. So it's not just troops moving on a map, it's symbolic. Could be the current administration stepping back from that kind of federal intervention in local matters, almost like a response to, maybe even a rejection of, how things were done before. Highlights that ongoing tension, doesn't it? Federal versus state power.
Exactly. That tension is always there, and this brings it into focus again.
Okay, let's pivot now to the international stage. And things get really complex here. News out of Iran. They publicly stated they're going to keep enriching uranium. That's quite a statement, given recent events.
It is. And the crucial detail, the thing that makes this more than just talk, is that they're saying this despite openly acknowledging serious damage to their nuclear sites
That's right.
from those U.S. missile attacks last month. So Iran is basically saying, yes, you hit us, it hurt, but we're not stopping our nuclear program.
Wow. That is defiant. To take a hit like that and immediately double down. So President Trump initiated those strikes. How did he respond to Iran's declaration?
His response was sharp, unwavering, really. He reiterated his previous threats, said quite clearly that more attacks might be necessary if Iran continues down this path. Basically, military pressure is still on the table. What's fascinating, though, is Iran's calculation here. They acknowledge the damage, maybe to rally domestic support, Project Resilience, or maybe it's signaling to other world powers that they won't be pressured, even militarily. It's a political move as much as a technical one.
So connecting the dots,
Yeah.
the tension just stays incredibly high. It's like this diplomatic military chess match. Each move gets countered. It feels like it's escalating almost.
Or at least not de-escalating.
Right. What does this mean for, say, regional stability, oil prices, the whole Middle East balance?
Well, that's the critical question, isn't it? Is this pushing towards a bigger conflict, or are they just testing each other's limits in a new phase? It signals a deeply entrenched, volatile situation, less about backing down, more about strategic signaling, figuring out where the red lines really are now. They're communicating through actions, bombs as much as words. It's a really pivotal moment.
Okay, moving from geopolitics now, let's shift to the economy. Something pretty big happened in the crypto world could really change things for digital assets. President Trump ratified the Genius Act, being called the first major national law regulating crypto. Crypto's huge, though. What specifically does this law target?
Right. It zooms in specifically on stablecoins. For anyone maybe not deep in the crypto space, stablecoins are the ones designed to keep a stable value, often pegged to something like the US dollar.
Gotcha.
The main goal of the Genius Act, to set up a clear federal regulatory system for them, get them out of that gray area, that patchwork of state rules, or sometimes no rules at all.
That sounds like a big deal for, well, for trust, right? Investor confidence. We've seen some stablecoins blow up spectacularly because the rules weren't clear. So what are the key requirements under this act?
This is really the core of it. Two main things. First, 100% backing. They have to hold reserves, liquid assets like cash or government bonds covering their full value, 1-to-1. No funny business with fractional reserve.
Okay, full backing.
Second, transparency. They have to publicly disclose those reserves every month, show the proof. The whole idea is to make them actually, stable and trustworthy.
Seems like a direct answer to past failures. But you always hear the argument in crypto won't heavy regulations stifle innovation, push it elsewhere.
That's definitely the counter-argument you hear. Critics worry that strict rules might make the U.S. less attractive for crypto companies. They might go somewhere with looser regulations. And focusing only on stablecoins, well, it leaves other parts of crypto untouched for now.
True.
But the thinking behind the act seems to be that building this foundation of trust for stablecoins is essential first. It helps separate legitimate projects from the riskier stuff, maybe creates a model for regulating other digital assets later. It's a balancing act for sure, trying to get mainstream acceptance.
A huge step for an industry needing legitimacy. Okay, let's switch gears again. Technology. A massive announcement from OpenAI really shows you the scale of what's needed for this AI boom. CEO Sam Altman announced a huge deal with Oracle. Oracle 4. What exactly?
It's all about data centers, building absolutely enormous capacity. Specifically, they're adding 4.5 gigawatts of power capacity for their Stargate centers. These are their next-gen AI computing hubs right here in the U.S.
Wait, 4.5 gigawatts? That sounds astronomical. That's more power than some small countries use, isn't it?
Right.
For AI.
It is absolutely staggering, a real testament to how much energy cutting-edge AI needs. And this actually brings OpenAI's total capacity being developed to over 5 gigawatts.
Wow.
What it shows us is that AI training, running these huge models, it's incredibly power hungry, needs massive compute power, massive cooling. These data centers are becoming like small high-tech power plants themselves.
So it's not just about the chips and algorithms.
No, it's about the physical infrastructure.
Yeah.
Access to huge amounts of reliable energy is becoming a key factor in the AI race. It could strain power grids, influence where AI development happens geographically. It's a real physical bottleneck for this digital revolution.
Really puts the infra in AI infrastructure. Okay, complete change of pace now. Let's talk sports.
Yeah.
UFC 318 in New Orleans. Main event was a big trilogy fight. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. What happened there? Holloway won?
He did. Max Holloway won by unanimous decision. And this was his first successful defense of the BMF title, the baddest mother for belt.
The BMF belt. Symbolic, but big for the fans.
Exactly. So Holloway really cemented his legendary status with that win.
Huge for Holloway, especially against Poirier, given their history. And speaking of Poirier, I heard this was maybe special for him, personally.
You heard right. It was Dustin Poirier's last fight, his retirement fight. He announced it afterward, went out in a main event after an incredible career.
Wow. End of an era. Poirier's a legend.
Absolutely. One of the most beloved fighters. Always brought grit, heart, incredible fights. So yeah, a poignant moment.
That adds so much weight to the fight. Did they say anything afterward? About the fight, the retirement, their rivalry?
They both spoke about just how intense it was. Their third meeting, the rubber match. They specifically mentioned the last 15 seconds of the final round. Call it epic. An incredible close to the fight and their whole history together.
Must have been electric.
Holloway showed huge respect for Poirier's career. Poirier reflected on his journey. It felt like a fitting, really hard-fought end for him and a massive win for Holloway.
A night UFC fans won't forget. A tough farewell for Poirier, huge for Holloway's legacy. All right, one last quick shift. Let's do a rapid-fire round on entertainment news.
Yeah.
What's buzzing?
Okay, couple of quick things showing industry trends. First, CJ40plex and Apple Cinemas. They're expanding their partnership.
Oh, right.
Adding 5 new SCREENX halls. Those are the ones with the screens that wrap around you.
The 270-degree ones, yeah. Very immersive. So Apple Cinemas will have 10 now.
10 total, yeah. It shows cinemas are betting on these premium experiences, things you can't get streaming at home, to draw people back.
Makes sense. What else?
Disney Plus. They're offering subscription discounts right now.
Just a summer deal, or is there a strategy?
Definitely strategic.
Yeah.
It's time to get people to watch Marvel movies, catch up on the MCU.
Before the new Fantastic Four movie drops.
Exactly. Fantastic Four, first steps. Use the back catalog to build hype for the new release. Smart synergy, especially with all the streaming competition.
Leverage that library. Good call. Anything else quick?
And just quickly, a new trailer dropped for Alien Earth. Fans of that sci-fi franchise will want to check it out. Early word is it's going back to the atmospheric horror roots.
Okay, lots to track there. So
Yeah.
we've really covered a lot today. Domestic policy shifts, high-stakes international tensions, major crypto regulation, mind-blowing AI infrastructure needs, a huge night in sports, and even cinema trends.
Yeah, and it really brings us back to the whole point of doing this. How do all these different things, policy, tech, entertainment, conflict, how do they connect? They paint a picture, right? A picture of our world right now. It highlights how interconnected everything is. Geopolitics affects economics, tech investment shapes everything. It really shows why thinking critically about the why behind the news is so important, not just the what.
Exactly. So for you listening, maybe think about the trends you see weaving through these stories. How might military decisions connect to politics? How might crypto rules and AI power needs reshape our future? Even our entertainment, the connections are there. They form this larger mosaic of where we are and maybe where we're headed. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into yesterday's headlines. We hope you feel a bit more informed, maybe a lot more insightful, and definitely curious. Until next time, stay curious.